So is Pi coin the next big thing in crypto, or is it just one giant, elaborate scam? That's the big question, right? It's what everyone wants to know. And in this Explainer series, we're going to dig in and look at the evidence for both sides.
First things first, you have to wrap your head around the sheer scale of this thing. We are talking about more than 50 million users. They call themselves pioneers. And to put that in perspective, that's a community larger than the entire population of Spain. This is not some tiny, niche project. It's a global phenomenon.
Okay, but that huge number immediately leads to a massive question. If so many people are mining it and holding it, why on earth can't you just go and trade it on a major exchange like Binance or Coinbase? That disconnect right there is the central mystery we need to solve.
So yeah, we're diving straight into the 50 million user mystery. Is this thing a genuine revolution waiting to happen, or is it just a massive project that's completely stuck in neutral?
All right, let's start at the beginning. Before we can judge it, we need to know, what exactly is Pi coin? Let's unpack the absolute basics. So Pi coin is the crypto for the Pi network. It launched back in 2019 and got a ton of attention right away because its founders were from Stanford. And that gave it this air of academic credibility. And their mission was super ambitious: make crypto something that anyone, and I mean anyone, with a smartphone could get into.
Now, their key innovation, their secret sauce, was this idea they called social mining. Basically, it meant you could mine Pi right on your phone. No need for those powerful, super expensive, energy-guzzling computers. All you had to do was check in. And that simple idea, that's what fueled its absolutely explosive growth.
So how does it actually work for a user? Well, it's almost laughably simple. You download the app, you tap a button once a day to prove you're a real person and not a bot, and then, if you want, you can build a little security circle with a few friends. That's it. Seriously. No money down, no complex setup.
So, what's the argument for Pi? Let's get into the mindset of those 50 million people and understand why they believe this project is the real deal.
Okay, the biggest point in Pi's corner is that it doesn't ask for any of your money. You don't buy in, so you've got zero financial risk. You combine that with a massive, dedicated community, actual ongoing development, and even features like fiat on-ramps in the wallet, which are basically bridges to real money, well, you can start to see why people are so hopeful.
And this one point is absolutely crucial. It's what really separates Pi from your classic crypto scam. I mean, a rug pull is designed to do one thing: take your money and disappear. Since Pi never asked for your cash in the first place, the main risk has always been your time and your data, not your life saving.
And hey, this isn't a dead project gathering dust. The team has been actively building things. There's a whole Pi browser, an app studio for developers, and they've even put money behind a $20 million robotics project. Those are not the actions of a team that's planning to just pack up and go home.
But, and this is a really big but, that is only half the story. Because for all the loyal fans and the development work, there are some serious red flags that have, been waving for years now.
So the critics, they point to a bunch of nagging problems. The network has been stuck in this closed mainnet phase for ages, which means huge delays in people actually getting their coins. It's not listed on any of the big boy exchanges, and its growth model, well, it rewards you so heavily for referrals that a lot of people compare it to an MLM or even a pyramid scheme.
And the volatility? Oh man, it is a huge problem.
Now, Pi is listed on a few smaller exchanges, but look at this price action. It's a complete roller coaster. We're talking a high of nearly $3, which then cratered all the way down to 35 cents. You just can't trust something as a stable currency when it swings that wildly.
All right, so after looking at both sides of the coin, where do we land? What is the verdict? Is it a scam or not? Well, the truth is, it's really complicated.
This is what I like to call the Pi paradox. On the one hand, it doesn't really act like a traditional scam. The founders are public figures, they haven't taken anyone's money, and they're actively developing it. But on the other hand, it is absolutely not a proven success. It has no real mass utility, no major exchange listings, and for millions of users, getting their hands on their own coins is still a frustratingly slow process.
At the end of the day, Pi isn't a clear-cut anything. It's not a simple scam, but it's not a raging success either. As our source material puts it perfectly, it's stuck in this unique and precarious position. It's basically walking a tightrope between a massive failure and a huge breakthrough.
Its entire future really boils down to 3 huge hurdles. First, it has to get through the identity verification, or KYC, and finally migrate everyone's coins to the live network. That's job number 1. Second, it has to prove that Pi is actually for something, that it has real-world value. And third, it needs that stamp of legitimacy that only comes from a major exchange listing.
So, knowing all this, what should you do? If you're a pioneer already, or if you're thinking about jumping in, how should you approach this thing? Let's boil it all down to a clear, simple takeaway.
Here is your 3-step strategy. It's super important. Step 1, and I cannot say this enough, do not invest real money. The whole point of the project is that it's free. Step 2, be careful. There are tons of scams and fake exchanges out there trying to trick Pi users. And step 3, just treat this whole thing as a speculative experiment. Think of it as a free lottery ticket. Its community is its biggest strength, but if things don't speed up, that community might just lose patience.
And that brings us right back to the ultimate question. Is Pi on the cusp of actually delivering on its huge promise to be the crypto for the masses? Or is it going to be remembered as just a noble idea that couldn't quite make it over the finish line? For now, only time is going to tell.